What kind of country is Colombia? Colombia takes a relatively open approach to regulating the sex industry, using a limited legalization model. Sex work is permitted only in government-designated tolerance zones, while street solicitation is prohibited. An estimated 70,000 to 100,000 people work in the industry, which faces enforcement challenges, trafficking risks, and ongoing social debate. This reflects Colombia's complex balance between traditional culture and modern governance as a developing nation. Some Colombian communities have a tradition of mothers-in-law guiding newlyweds. This custom survives mainly among some indigenous tribes and remote rural communities, especially where indigenous traditions remain strong. On the wedding night, the bride's mother may symbolically remain present to offer guidance or even demonstrate certain practices, helping the couple adjust to married life and their family responsibilities. The tradition is closely tied to the historical need for population growth in local tribal communities. Colombian women reflect distinctive indigenous values centered on family and community, and are also renowned worldwide for their diverse beauty. Their appeal comes from a blend of diverse ancestry, healthy vitality, and vibrant individuality. Many have olive skin, deep-set eyes, and thick black hair, with features that combine European definition and the softer lines of indigenous Americans. Their diverse heritage creates a wide range of skin tones, from medium to deep chocolate, while women in cities like Medellín are known for their tall figures and sculpted facial features. They generally favor natural curves over excessive cosmetic enhancement, and about 68% of urban women work out at least 3 times a week. Colombia is the world's largest cocaine producer. In 2024, production reached 3,000 tons, accounting for 70% of global output and fueling the growth of organized crime. Together with Peru and Bolivia, it forms the Andean cocaine-producing region, the world's primary source of cocaine. The Gulf Clan is one of Colombia's largest drug cartels, with operations in 28 countries and control of an estimated 30% to 60% of the country's cocaine trafficking routes. So what is Colombia really like? Let's take a closer look. We'll explore its geography, culture, society, economy, cities, natural resources, and history. The Republic of Colombia, commonly known as Colombia, is located in northwestern South America. Its remarkably diverse geography, climate, and natural advantages have shaped a rich landscape and vibrant culture. Colombia is the only South American country with coastlines on both the Caribbean Sea and the Pacific Ocean, stretching about 1,600 kilometers and 1,300 kilometers respectively. It serves as the land gateway linking Central and South America and borders Panama to the northwest. It also borders Venezuela, Brazil, Ecuador, and Peru. Covering 1.142 million square kilometers, Colombia ranks 5th in Latin America and 4th in South America by land area, with a population of about 53 million, the 3rd largest in Latin America. With about 53 million people, it ranks 3rd in Latin America after Brazil and Mexico, 28th globally, with a population density of about 45 people per square kilometer. Most of the population is concentrated in major cities such as Bogotá. Colombia is a country rich in cultural diversity and history, shaped by indigenous peoples, European settlers, African slaves, and modern immigrants. Mestizos make up about 60% of the population, whites 20%, people of mixed black and white ancestry 18%, and the remainder are indigenous and black communities. About 10,000 ethnic Chinese live mainly in Bogotá. Colombians value a slower pace of life, placing family gatherings and holidays ahead of work. Young people embrace street art, breakdancing, skateboarding, and graffiti, especially in cities like Bogotá and Medellín, where street culture thrives. Colombia is the homeland of Nobel Prize-winning author Gabriel García Márquez, whose masterpiece 100 Years of Solitude profoundly influenced world literature. Cities such as Cartagena regularly host international literary festivals. Salsa and cumbia are national treasures rooted in the fusion of African and indigenous traditions. Spanish is the official language, alongside 65 indigenous languages and 2 Creole languages. One of Colombia's signature dishes is bandeja paisa, a hearty platter of grilled beef, crispy pork belly, red beans, rice, fried plantains, corn cakes, and avocado. Arepas are the country's favorite breakfast, while crispy pork rinds and cheese bread make a classic snack pairing. These dishes reflect the meeting of the highlands, rainforests, and coast, as well as indigenous, Spanish, and African culinary traditions. Colombia has the fourth largest economy in Latin America after Brazil, Mexico, and Argentina. In 2024, its GDP reached about $418.86 billion. GDP per capita was about $7,949, but income inequality remains severe, with a Gini coefficient of 0.55 and a poverty rate of 31.8%. The average worker earns just $400 to $500 a month. In the Bogotá metropolitan area, annual disposable income averages 26,298,204 pesos, or about $4,600, compared with the national average of 14,037,240 pesos, or about $2,455. Colombia's literacy rate is about 94.3%, and the country provides 11 years of free compulsory education. However, educational resources remain scarce in rural areas, creating a significant urban-rural gap. Colombia's healthcare system is primarily public, covering about 78% of the population, but high-quality medical services are concentrated in major cities such as Bogotá and Medellín, while remote areas have limited access. The economy is dominated by the service sector, which accounts for more than 60% of GDP, while tourism revenue continues to grow steadily. In 2024, Colombia welcomed more than 6 million international visitors. Beyond its cultural attractions, destinations such as San Andrés in the Caribbean, the Amazon rainforest, and hiking trails in the Andes are especially popular. Tourism contributes 3.2% of GDP, while agriculture, livestock, and fisheries account for just 8.1%. Colombia is the world's third largest producer and exporter of coffee, known for its premium Arabica beans. Colombia is also the world's second largest exporter of cut flowers, with roses, carnations, and other blooms accounting for more than 15% of global exports. Its textile and apparel industry is worth about $5 billion, making it one of Latin America's leading textile exporters. Energy and mining are major export pillars. Coal and other energy products account for 47.6% of exports, while precious metals contribute 15.8%. Manufacturing remains relatively weak, with machinery imports making up 35.2% of imports, highlighting limited industrial production capacity. Regional inequality is a major challenge. Western Colombia generates more than 60% of the nation's GDP, while the eastern rainforest region contributes relatively little. Bogotá, the capital and largest city of Colombia, lies in the Sumapaz Plateau Basin on the eastern Andes. In 2024, it had a population of about 7.91 million and covered 1,587 square kilometers. Its metropolitan area is home to about 11.66 million people, making it one of the world's highest altitude megacities. The climate is spring-like year-round, with an average annual temperature of 14 degrees Celsius. Bogotá's history dates back to the pre-Columbian era, when it was the Muisca Cultural Center of Bogotá. In 1886, it officially became the capital of the Republic of Colombia. As the nation's political center, Bogotá is home to the Presidential Palace, Congress, and the Supreme Court. In 2018, it joined the ranks of global cities and became South America's third-largest destination for foreign investment, attracting 46.5% of the country's FDI projects. In 2007, UNESCO named Bogotá the World Book Capital. It is also known as the Ibero-American Cultural Capital and the Athens of South America. The city is filled with museums and cultural landmarks. The Gold Museum houses the world's largest collection of pre-Columbian gold artifacts, with more than 55,000 pieces, while the Botero Museum showcases the paintings and sculptures of Colombian master Fernando Botero. At 3,152 meters above sea level, Montserrat offers panoramic views of the city. Bolivar Square is the city's central plaza, surrounded by colonial-era buildings. La Candelaria is Bogotá's historic heart, preserving a wealth of colonial architecture. Visitors should note that Bogotá has a complex public safety situation, with relatively high crime rates, especially at night and in isolated areas. The best times to visit Bogotá are from June to August and from December to February. Medellín, Colombia's second-largest city, was once known as the City of Sin because of drug-related violence. Today, it has reinvented itself through urban renewal and is recognized as one of Latin America's most innovative cities. Every August, Medellin's Flower Festival attracts millions of visitors, while the Museum of Modern Art and vibrant street murals have become symbols of the city's transformation. On the Caribbean coast, Cartagena was a major colonial port. Its 16th-century walled city is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and its annual International Literary Festival is one of Latin America's premier literary events. Cali, the salsa capital of Colombia, is famous for its vibrant dance culture. Street performers are everywhere, and its salsa schools attract enthusiasts from around the world. Colombia is renowned for its abundant natural resources, with diverse reserves that rank among the world's most significant, especially its emeralds. Colombia has the world's largest emerald reserves, supplying more than half of the global market. The country also possesses abundant oil, natural gas, coal, gold, and nickel resources. Proven oil reserves total about 3.07 billion barrels, while proven natural gas reserves are estimated at 2,949 billion cubic feet. Together, oil and gas are major pillars of the Colombian economy. Coal is another key resource. In 2024, production reached 64.59 million tons, with most exports going to the United States and Europe. Gold reserves exceed 1,000 tons, with major mining areas including Caucasia, El Bager, and Chaco. Colombia's forests cover about 59.31 million hectares, or 51.9% of the country, mainly in the Amazon rainforest and along the Pacific coast. It is the world's second most biodiverse country after Brazil. Although Colombia covers just 0.7% of Earth's land area, it is home to about 10% of the world's species. More than 63,000 species have been recorded, including 14% found nowhere else. Colombia ranks first in the world for orchid, bird, and butterfly diversity, and second for plant, amphibian, and freshwater fish species. Agricultural land covers about 51.3 million hectares, or 44.9% of the country. Of that, 4.22 million hectares are cropland and 36.5 million hectares are pasture and grassland, providing vital support for the economy. Colombia's history dates back to ancient indigenous civilizations. The region was once home to peoples such as the Muisca before Spanish colonists arrived in 1536 and established settlements known as New Granada. Spanish colonial rule lasted nearly 300 years, profoundly reshaping indigenous cultures and economies while introducing European culture and production systems. July 20th later became Colombia's Independence Day, but independence was not fully secured until 1819, when Simón Bolívar defeated Spanish forces at the Battle of Boyacá. In 1821, Colombia joined present-day Ecuador, Venezuela, and Panama to form the Republic of Gran Colombia. The federation was Bolívar's vision for a united South America, but regional conflicts led Venezuela and Ecuador to withdraw between 1829 and 1830, and Gran Colombia formally dissolved in 1831. During the late 19th century, the Republic of New Granada endured repeated political upheavals and civil wars that slowed the country's development. In 1886, the nation was officially renamed the Republic of Colombia and gradually established a more stable system of government. In the first half of the 20th century, Colombia entered a period of alternating rule by the liberal and conservative parties. Beginning in the 1980s, Colombia faced serious challenges from the illegal drug trade. Powerful drug cartels emerged, placing enormous pressure on public security and governance. Since then, the country has made long-term efforts to combat organized crime. Since 1964, Colombia endured decades of armed conflict. In 2016, the government and the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia signed a historic peace agreement, ending 52 years of conflict that had claimed countless lives and displaced millions, laying the foundation for greater stability. Colombia's terrain and climate are remarkably diverse, with distinct vertical climate zones ranging from tropical coasts and rainforests to high plateaus, grasslands, and snow-capped peaks. The western part of the country is dominated by the Andes, which cover about 32% of the land. Here the mountain range splits into the eastern, central, and western cordilleras, creating dramatic plateaus, deep valleys, and volcanic landscapes. The northern Pico Cristobal Colón rises to about 5,800 meters, while Bogotá sits on a plateau at 2,640 meters, making it one of the world's highest major metropolitan areas. To the east, the landscape transitions into the vast Orinoco Plains and the Amazon rainforest, which together cover about 40% of the country. The 1,538-kilometer Magdalena River runs like a lifeline from south to north. The Caribbean coast stretches for 1,600 kilometers and is lined with coral reefs and golden beaches, while the Pacific coast features steep rainforest shores. Chaco, where annual rainfall exceeds 10,000 millimeters, is among the wettest places on Earth. Colombia's vertical climate zones are equally striking. The Amazon and Pacific coast have tropical rainforest climates with year-round heat and rain, averaging about 28 degrees Celsius. Farther north, the Caribbean coast has a tropical savanna climate with distinct wet and dry seasons, while the La Guajira Peninsula even features semi-desert landscapes. Antioquia, at elevations of 1,000 to 2,000 meters, has a subtropical climate. Medellín, the city of eternal spring, enjoys an average annual temperature of about 22 degrees Celsius. Bogotá's 2,600-meter plateau creates a unique highland climate, with an average annual temperature of just 14 degrees Celsius and day-to-night temperature swings of around 10 degrees Celsius. Above 3,000 meters lies the alpine zone, where glaciers in the Sierra Nevada create a striking contrast with the tropical sun. Colombia is a country where breathtaking nature and rich culture come together, defying any single label. The Andes and the Amazon define its landscape, while the aroma of coffee and the beauty of its flowers capture its spirit. Garcia Marquez's magical realism and the passion of salsa shape its cultural identity. Though marked by the scars of conflict and the drug trade, Colombia continues to seek a balance between tradition and modernity, holding on to hope through adversity. Its diversity and resilience make it one of South America's most fascinating destinations. What else do you know about Colombia? Or have you had any unforgettable experiences there? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching Global Geography with Dafe. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. I'm Dafe, and I'll see you in the next one.